to build a relationship, a strong relationship, and I'll even say more importantly, to get them in a position to say yes or no to what you're offering, you need to spend the 7 hours, that's a 7, over 11 different times across 4 different mediums or venues.
Welcome to The Growth Mindset, the podcast for ambitious real estate and mortgage professionals. Hosted by Adam Crosley and Rick Riddle, this show dives into entrepreneurial strategies, sales techniques, and mindset hacks designed to fuel your career growth. Get ready to learn from top producers, gain actionable insights, and start your journey towards success. Here's your hosts, Adam and Rick.
Buongiorno, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Growth Mindset Podcast. My name is Rick Riddle, and I'm with my co-host,
Adam Crosley.
What's up, Adam?
How you doing today, brother? This is awesome to always get together here with you, see your face every Monday here, getting going on our week.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is, I think this is going to be a good episode, too. So
I think this is going to be a great episode.
It's all about relationships.
It is. In sales, in life, everything comes down to dealing with other people and building and strengthening and growing relationships. So let's use the growth mindset today to talk about how we can grow relationships, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, first of all, I think we both agree, do you know who the greatest loan officer is?
The greatest loan officer. I know who the greatest salesman is. Who's the greatest loan officer?
The greatest loan officer is the one that has the biggest network.
Oh, okay.
Right? I mean, whoever has our job is
network is your net worth.
Yes.
That's it. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's the greatest loan officer, has the largest network. Or maybe it's the most impactful network. So it's funny. We were, I was listening to Carl White actually at a training, and we talked about growing your network, right? And no matter what that is, right? Referral partners, recruits, just knowing more people. Mm-hmm. And he equated it to dating.
Mm-hmm. Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
And what he said is, and this is going to sound non-PC, but
all right.
A lot of times, especially when it comes to relationship building, when you ask the closing question, people say no. Actually, they probably say yes, but they're just to get you off the phone. But what he said is, no doesn't mean no. No means I don't know.
I don't.
Because I don't have enough information yet.
Got it.
Right? So think about it. You meet a realtor at an open house, and you spend some hours, you build a relationship, and, maybe you even are strong enough to get a second follow-up appointment. Hey, get a cup of coffee, right?
Okay.
Most loan officers will then, build a conversation, have a relationship. Maybe they ask the right questions versus, learning about that person versus selling. Maybe they do a great job of that. And then they ask for the business. If is there anyone I can help right now? Or who do you know, friends, family, relatives, they're looking to buy, sell, or refinance? Who, they start asking for business. And the realtor's like, yeah, I'll send you my next customer. And they never do.
Of course.
Or they say, yeah, maybe. And they never do. And the reason being is that you haven't earned the relationship yet. Right? Zig Ziglar says, and I might have even said this last podcast, if they like you, they will trust you. And if they trust you, then they may buy from you. Right? Well,
it's true, because people do business who they know, like, and trust.
Right. And
so if they don't trust you, they don't know you enough. It's our job as the salesperson to get them to know us more.
Correct. So there's actually a study on Google. Okay. Google did a study on relationship building.
Okay.
And they call it the 7-11-4.
Oh, I've heard of this. Yeah.
Yes. So it's to build a relationship, a strong relationship, and I'll even say more importantly, to get them in a position to say yes or no to what you're offering, you need to spend the 7 hours, that's the 7, over 11 different times across 4 different mediums or venues.
Okay. So 7 hours, 11 times, 11 interactions over 4 different, whether it be digital platforms, in person, Facebook, coffee, whatever.
Yes. So for instance, I'm at a Board of Realtors event and I invite a realtor to go golfing with me.
Okay.
And I spend 7 hours with them, right? Like I meet them beforehand. We play 4 hours of golf or 5 hours in those Board of Realtors
Really
events.
great way to go deep, but until you get some depth in the relationship, you don't solidify the relationship.
Correct. I spent 7 hours with that person one day.
Okay.
I haven't earned the right yet because that was just one time.
Got it.
Right now, it doesn't necessarily mean 11, like 11 times could be commenting on their Facebook pages, right? And DMing them, sending them a text, right? Those are all part of the 11. Getting a cup of coffee for a half hour, inviting them to a realtor marketing event, giving them an episode of our podcast, having them on our podcast, right? Like 11 different ways to connect with them, equaling 7 hours.
Because if you just go once really depth, it's almost like a single serve friendship. Right?
Right.
Like if you have one really long period with somebody, but it's the frequency of being with them more frequently that actually builds the trust.
Correct. They got to see you 11 times, right?
Exactly.
And it can't be, well, I sent 11 DMs, over a 3-week period.
Correct. Because you need different platforms.
You need different platforms, so I figured we could take so that was actually Google that came out with that study. And and I think that was not necessarily sales, but it was a study on relationship building.
Got it.
Right. And that people can't make the decision to move forward with that relationship until they've done that 7-11-4. So it's something that Crown and people at Crown that we're working on, right, is that applies true to realtor coverage, right? And it also applies true to recruiting, right? Like, I don't want to, part of my job is to grow Crown, right? And build, but I want to do it with people that, I don't want to sell them on how great we are, right? I don't want to sell them on a big sign-on bonus, great rates or whatever. I mean, those may be true, but what really is meaningful is building a relationship and working towards a common goal.
Yeah. Well,
right. Like
if you're building a relationship, you'll be able to get through the hard times. Right.
Yeah.
Like if they're just coming on for a sign on or they're just coming for something real simple, real light, the minute they get any headwind, they're gone.
Yeah.
Because you didn't take the time to build the depth of the relationship.
I mean, think about yours and my relationship. It took about 6 or 7 months for you to join Crown.
Yeah.
I came up a couple of times. We spent multiple times on the phone, right?
Yeah.
And then we got to become really, not only
friendship.
build a friendship, but even if the friendship was early, right? We built a relationship, and I think our friendship has grown and evolved.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But it wasn't till, we had to peel away the onion to see what you wanted in your life. Exactly. And then I had to show you, and you had to trust me that I could help you get where you wanted in your life, right? And that takes time, right? Like, talking, like I would think most of our listeners are either branch managers looking to grow or realtors looking to grow. I'm sorry, loan officers looking to grow.
Yep.
And it takes, any realtor that's worth building a relationship with probably has a relationship with somebody else.
Exactly. Yeah.
The best part is, and people say, they're not loyal. It's not that they're not loyal. They're not that strongly involved in a relationship that they wouldn't be willing to consider something else.
Correct.
The challenge is most salespeople say, I have the best product, I have the best service, I have the best rates, give me a shot. Whether you're selling mortgages, whether I'm selling people to come work for me, or whether you're selling cars or any other industry, I have the best product, rate, service. That fills a need, that doesn't build a relationship.
That means you're good at your job. That means you don't have any depth in the relationship.
Right. Now I I could have a cool
And
product.
honestly, products, rate, services, if you don't have those, you're probably not qualified.
That's fair. Right. To relate. Right. But even if we came out with, the Plattsburgh 100, a no money down option just for Plattsburgh, New York.
Sounds great.
Do it. Yeah, but it's done. It's a great program that you could go and broadcast to everybody.
Right.
But that doesn't move the needle.
So,
That just is the door opener to start the relationship.
yeah, it's a great point. Because
It's one of your 11 to broadcast that, to create interaction. But guess what? If I have the Plattsburgh 100, and even if I'm first to market with it, the lender right down the street will eventually have the Plattsburgh 100 or something similar.
Well, I mean, like when I was growing my business, and this was kind of a non-negotiable for me when I came over here, was that we got a chattel product. So manufactured homes in parks, because for years, that was my in to offices that I couldn't get into because I knew nobody else had that product. And then I was able to use that little silly product here. Let me do your $50,000 loan, just to get in the door to start a conversation. But from that, I was able to kind of then start to build relationships, talk about everything else that we can do, educate them, figure out what their goals are, help them achieve their goals. And then it was like, wow, my current lender doesn't do any of this stuff. But I used this silly little product as a wedge to get into offices that I couldn't get into before.
You know what? That's actually very interesting, because I think about, we had a loan officer that used to work here, great loan officer. She was more operational than she came from the processing background, but became a loan officer. And at the time, we didn't have New Jersey housing, right? Basically a DPA program in New Jersey, right? And she was like, look, I need this product. We had it at my old bank. I need this. I know that I'll be able to get this realtor's business. I'll be able to expand my book, and I need. So we got the product for her. And you know what happened?
You didn't write any.
No, she did.
Oh, did she
already? That's a different problem. We have that as well. She wrote a lot of it.
Oh,
Guess what? She didn't write anything else.
Oh, geez.
So what happened was she became the subject matter expert for the NJHMFA.
Got it.
So the realtors that she built relationships with only used her for NJHMFA, but used all the other loan officers that they had relationships for everything else. So she became typecasted, and the reason being is because she became the product, not using the product to build a better relationship.
Got it. That's a really good point. So if you are just out there and you're a loan officer, branch manager, and you are a niche expert in one thing, sometimes that's good, but also sometimes, you want to use that niche to get in the door so that you can help them with everything else and actually leverage the product into a relationship.
Yeah. I mean, look, think about Seinfeld.
Okay.
Right? 4 actors.
Yeah.
Jerry, Elaine, George,
Kramer.
and Kramer. Elaine and George was obviously an actor beforehand, right? Was able to continue on to his acting career doing other stuff. Elaine did Veep. Elaine did another show, right? So she, with Julia Louis-Dreyfus, was able to use that as a stepping stone to get more gigs.
Yep.
Kramer, and I know that there's other actors, but the reality is he's always going to be Kramer.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
it's the same thing.
Kind of like Dwight in The Office, right? Like what do you like? This is like such a popular character. It's almost hard to ever break that role to go into anything else.
Right. So the Office is a perfect example, right? Like Ed Helms, right, who played Andy, right?
Yep.
He went on to do millions of things.
Over tons of it. Yeah.
Right. Same with John Krasinski, did a bunch of stuff. But certain actors got pigeonholed, like Stanley's always Stanley.
Yeah.
Dwight. Dwight's always Dwight. Right. You've seen it in a lot of The Sopranos, right? Like you become so good at one character, you've never evolved into taking. So in the mortgage world, you are the expert in one product, and you never built a relationship. You never reinvented yourself. So like I've seen 2 or 3K guys that are only 2 or 3Ks. They only get 2 or 3K reverse or NJHMFA, right? That they only learn, they almost become synonymous with the product, right? And what I'm saying is, and I know we went a little off topic on relationships, you've got to use that as one tool in your tool bag, but you have to continue to build that relationship to show that you have other tools or that you're multifaceted.
Exactly.
So, let's brainstorm for the viewers or listeners of some of those different 11 things that they could do.
Cool. So,
right?
I mean, I'll tell you what I do to build relationships in my personal business. I'll peel back the onion. So my number one thing I do is I love the phone. I'm an old school sales guy. So I don't like cold calls, but if it is a cold call, I love to invite people to events. So I'm using the phone to leverage a face-to-face. So different types of events. The other thing I do is on my list of the top realtors that I'm going after, twice a week, I have 2 sets of screens. One screen is the list. The other screen is Facebook. That's just my social media platform of choice. Then I get on there and I go right to Rick Riddle and I comment on your last post. I go, right to Kathy Bennett, comment on her next post. Boom, 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 boom. And I can do that really fast and pump it out. But then that way I'm building a targeted relationship list online and I'm going deep with the people that I want to go deep with that are impactful, qualified agents that I'm going to get the most reward from.
I'm actually going to give you a tip.
Okay, shoot.
This is hot off the press.
Ooh.
This is a Facebook relationship tip.
Oh, I know what this is.
Do you? So I built,
Oh, I don't know.
So take your, let's say 40 realtors, your focus 40 realtors that you want to build a strengthen your relationship with.
Yep.
Go into Facebook, friend request them, but then create a customized list in Facebook with those 40 people. So a couple of things. Now in that list, you can see all those 40, so you can see their posts. But when you go to post something, you can post something to your general audience, to all your thousands of friends, but then you could also post it just to that list. If you post it just to that list, the algorithm will pick it up that they'll see it in Facebook. So
it narrows it down because it's on a qualified list.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do, our next podcast episode, as you know, we had short clips. I'm going to start promoting it just to my list.
Cool.
I'm going to put it to everywhere, right? So it will be on my general, but believe it or not, and this is what's crazy is you have 3,000 friends and you only see the same 40 people over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I used to think that 2,960 people stop posting. They just don't see them. So to get them, so I am posting stuff that I want people to see, and 99% of my audience isn't seeing them. So the way to fix that is to create a custom list and then post it to that list. They will see it then.
That makes sense.
They go in. So that's a kind of a tip to maximize your Facebook lists to get out there. So post to those customized lists. That will help you in building your 4-7-11. So that's one way.
Cool. Can I drop a quick tip here?
Yeah.
In line with that. So where I thought you were going with this, and this is something we just discovered here in the last week, is let's say you're either Rick Riddle, the recruit, or Rick Riddle, the realtor that I want to build a relationship with. I can take your Facebook profile link, copy that, paste it over to ChatGPT, and say, I'm a loan officer, I'm a branch manager, and I'm looking to recruit, and I want to start a conversation with Rick. How should I open? And it'll look at my profile and your profile, and it'll find commonalities. So that way, when I call to talk to you, even if it's a cold call, there's things that I can say, or I can say like, hey, I saw that you were at the beach. We love going to the beach. Like just different things that, whatever it might be. Like, so anyway, that's a really cool tip if you're wanting to go deep with somebody and make an impactful conversation, and you're kind of short on time. Instead of the old school, hey, let's go stalk their Facebook for an hour. Let's just take the link, put it in ChatGPT, and now I got my hour back and make the phone call.
Yeah, I love it. And, a couple other things that I think is, obviously social is about being social, right? And I'll tell you I'll tell you what's not effective, what is not very effective, and something that is effective. Okay. So what is not effective is liking posts.
Fair. Yep.
Right? Because they may see, I got 100 likes, but they don't see who those 100 likes. You get no credit for liking a post.
Correct.
What's a little more effective is commenting, right? That's obviously effective, but it's okay effective.
Right.
What I think is most effective is send them a DM.
DM, absolutely.
What's actually very interesting about Facebook DMs is that Facebook will alert you that you have an unread DM. It's automatically being your CRM for you.
Yeah.
So if I send you
over again until you see it.
Yeah. So it almost will, if I send Adam Crosley in this example a DM and he doesn't look at Facebook, it will literally be like, hey, you have an unread message. You have an unread message. You have an unread message. Go look, you have an unread message over and over and over and over again until you look at it. So it's actually being annoying for you.
Nice.
So I find that a very effective tool is in my relationship. When I have my Focus 40, I'm going on their Facebook, looking at what they're doing, and then I'll say, hey, that's really cool. Hey, great work on what you're doing, right? I love that your social media. I love your platform or whatever. And I think that's just one way to connect. The other thing I like to do instead of, and I'll call it another tip, like I said, nobody likes to cold call, but the only way to meet people is to talk to people you haven't already met yet, right? Exactly. To expand your network. So one thing that I think is a pretty cool trick that we've implemented is, and I don't want to say trick, but when I connect with someone on LinkedIn, I now get in the practice of calling them.
Yeah.
And
I think that's a really good tactic.
Yeah. And my dialogue is, hey, Adam, I know this sounds crazy. We just connected on LinkedIn. I obviously use LinkedIn to connect with people like yourself and build my network. And call me crazy, call me old-fashioned, but I actually like to have a conversation with my connections. Yep. I hope that's okay. I just want to learn a little bit about you.
Well, right? And getting back to the whole 7-11-4, just doing that, you're depthening. You're getting 2 touches over 2 platforms.
Yep.
So I mean, you're just that little tactic alone, you're deepening the relationship.
Yes. And that's why I think it's, we can get into the, we've talked about it on many podcasts. It's like, it's not about selling.
No.
It's about building a relationship. Right?
Building a relationship.
And it's funny, when I was a loan officer early in my career, I don't know if it was a mistake. I mean, I did pretty well, but I never asked, who do you have? Do you have any leads to call for me? Right? Because realtors knew I was in the mortgage business.
It's the assumptive close, right?
It is assumptive, right? I just asked cut questions of what they're struggling on, and I asked how I could help, right? Like knowing that if I could help them, and whether it was, what challenges do you see in the market, or, hey, I see you're having an open house this weekend. You want me to help you set up the signs, help you blow up balloons, want me to, it wasn't about me getting mortgages, getting leads. I'll be your, if it's going to be a busy open, I'll help people sign in at the door.
Yeah.
I won't sell my service. I'll just be your assistant for the day. Right. Because I knew that if I can help them, they know why I'm here. They know I'm, a commissioned person like them. So I found that was a better way to build relationships is giving, but finding different, this 4-7-11 or 7-11-4 is really putting the science behind it, right? Mm-hmm. Strategically finding 11 ways to connect with them. Like you said, a coffee appointment, a virtual appointment, invite them on a podcast. By the way, if you have a podcast, if you listen to an episode that you like of ours, share it.
Yeah.
Hey, or anybody's, right?
If you forwarded that to you, the person that's forwarding it to you, that's a connection.
Yeah. That's, that is a connection. Like, I'll tell you, I get, as you know, I'm a diehard Philadelphia Eagles fan. I get people all the time sending me podcasts about the Eagles. Oh, did you hear this? Did you hear that? Did you hear? It's just a reason to have a connection, right? And that's where, one thing I used to do as a loan officer, I used to keep a spreadsheet. So I had the opportunity to work inside a real estate office. 40 realtors. I worked for a company called Weichert Financial Services. The real estate company was Weichert Realtors. I was assigned to the Byram Weichert office. That's where I worked every day. That's where my office was inside this Weichert office. So I'd never done that before. Like I was brand new, not brand new into business. I've been in for about 2 years, but I said, that's where I'm going to focus on.
Yep.
So I built a spreadsheet. I had the realtor's name, the realtor's phone number, right? Pretty obvious. I then had next to it, how do they take their coffee? So my goal was to figure out, so anytime there was somebody that they had shift time from, I think it was 9 to 12, 12 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 to 9. 2 people at every shift. So I made sure that I got out of my office, worked at the front desk at like 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 6 o'clock. Because right around that time, because the people coming on, the people getting off, and I would say, how do you take your coffee? Because there was a Dunkin' Donuts right across the street.
Got it. So you would get their orders,
and I'd put it in a spreadsheet, right? So that way, the next time I'd be running across the street, I know even if I didn't have it memorized, I'd be like, all right, Adam's at the front desk. Adam comes in, he's coming like hot, right? Like because he's supposed to start at 12 and he came at 11:59. I purposely get out, I'm like, hey Adam, I'm getting a cup of coffee across the street, light and sweet, right? Is that how you like it? And they just go, and I look at my spreadsheet and. Yeah, and after a while, I didn't even ask. I just showed up with a cup of coffee exactly how they liked it. So I kept that on a spreadsheet, and I kept what I called LSEs, little something extras. So I knew every realtor what was one little thing they liked.
Yeah.
A lot of times, most of the time, it started out as candy, like M&Ms or Skittles or gum, right? So I could pick up something for them, right? But then it evolved into like, a Giants fan, loved model airplanes, right? One of my, loved ping pong, right? So I knew something about each of them. And eventually you just kind of know. But I knew Les Bruce was a realtor, and I haven't talked to him in 20 years, but he was a ping pong fanatic. By the way, older guy, could kick anyone's ass in ping pong. It was amazing. But I bought him ping pong balls like one time. Like, I was at the Walmart and I saw.
Well, it's meaningful and to them, and it's important that you remembered. Have you ever read the book Mr. Schmooze?
No.
That's the premise of the whole book. And basically what they say is in that book is like, it's kind of told in a story, but like by doing those little extras, you just open up so many doors. Like, let's say, like old school, you're going into a realtor office. I mean, realtors aren't always in the office these days. So, I mean, it's changed post-COVID, but pre-COVID, you'd walk in, you always had to get past the gatekeeper. Well, if 5 loan officers walk in and 1 loan officer hands the gatekeeper a coffee, who's getting through?
Yeah.
Right? Like those LSEs, if you will, those little something extras, those little tokens of appreciation that show that you care. What's the old saying? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
I was about to say that's one of the chapters in my book.
Yeah.
Right? Is that quote, right? And it's that, right? They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care that you know guidelines inside and out.
Yeah. But when they know that you care, then they're willing to listen. Then they're willing to open up doors. Then they're willing to help. Then they're willing to let you buy to go see the people that you need to see or, whomever it may be. But dude, I'll tell you, those little something extras go tremendously far because then you're thought about as a caring person.
Well, it sounds crazy because it sounds insincere, right? They're like, oh, I got to win them over by building a relationship with them. But if you I truly did care, right, about my realtors because I got to know them on such a personal level. And was it a sales strategy tactic? Yes. But did I build a genuine relationship? Yes. To the point where
by building a genuine relationship, if they ever have a deal that goes sideways, the relationship's not going to fall apart over one bad deal.
Correct.
because your relationship has more depth to it because you spent so much time with them and the frequency over different platforms.
And it creates loyalty, right? Like,
and it creates that loyalty. Yeah.
And I think that we have a lot of connections and friends that are top producers,
Absolutely.
right? Closing hundreds of millions of dollars a year. And it's part of scale, but eventually it's hard to go deep. This is where I always say to brand new loan officers getting into this business. I was talking to a brand new loan officer in Georgia this week that works for us, just joined us, brand new license. She goes, everyone has a relationship already. And she said, she was talking about us, telling this person, like, this person, is our number one loan officer in our country or county, does tons of business. How am I going to compete against that? I said, easy. You're going to build a deeper relationship because you have the time to do that. And I said, you're going to focus on people that do business, right? So we had our qualified lists, and we don't build relationships with people that don't do any business, right? It's okay to build a relationship with them, but don't spend, because they might lead you to somebody else.
Yeah.
But take people that can give you business, at least one deal a quarter, right? Right. So that's 4 deals a year. Make it worth your time and go deep. Because even though you're going up against a 20-year vet that does $100 million a year, they don't have time to go deep with those relationships.
Right.
They may have been deep at one time,
but they're probably not now.
They're probably not now.
But I think and this is a really good point that you just made, Rick, and I don't want to skim over it for anybody that's listening to our podcast. You can be you can do very, very well as a loan officer if you build like 10 relationships. If you build 10 relationships with people that send you a deal a quarter, it's 40 transactions a year. 40 transactions a year. I mean, you're not setting the world on fire, but that's a 6-figure income for most people in most markets.
Yeah. The average commission is between $3,000 and $4,000. Obviously, depending on the market area. Yours is a little bit less because you sell $50,000.
No, I mean, if it's 3,500, let's say it's 3,500 and you're doing 40 deals a year with 10 relationships, it's 140,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's a great income off of not a lot of effort. But I think that's the point is that we really need to make is that you need to use these systems to build depth of relationships. Because if you have really good, strong relationships, you can do very well in any sales industry, not just mortgage, but in any sales industry.
Yeah, I was in speaking about relationships, and I always say the target is 15.
Yeah.
Right? 15, one a quarter, that's 5 loans a month. 5 loans a month at 3,000 is $15,000, it's 180,000. Right?
Yeah,
That's kind of simple, but not easy, right? I mean, obviously, it's a simple plan, right? You just got to find 15 people. They don't all have to be realtors. If your mom can give you 4 deals a year, it could be your pastor in your church. It could be, it could be an accountant.
The head of the Chamber of Commerce is one of my favorite people.
And they probably
give you a lot of leads from them. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all about those relationships. It's funny. There's a guy by the name of Dale Vermillion. Do you know Dale? Or he's a mortgage coach. I don't remember what name of his company is. Been around. I went to a seminar of his, and he said, simply, you need 15 relationships, not to exceed 45. He goes, you can't have more than 45 relationships, which I thought was pretty
really deep with those.
Yeah. And he goes, so what I do is once I have my 45, I upgrade. Right? Doesn't mean I say, I'm no longer in a relationship with you. I stop investing. I start upgrading my 45.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it makes sense because you want to spend your time with the people that are going to bear the most fruit.
Right. And guess what? You'll still get business from people that are not in your 45. Sure. You're just not you're not investing all your relationship time with them.
Yeah.
So if you have 45 relationships, you're writing 15 loans a month.
Yeah.
So it's a good problem to have 45. He said a human can handle 45. And then after that, you start to try to upgrade to someone that can give you more than a deal a quarter, maybe a deal a month. Right. And then if,
that's cool.
So I thought that was a
really good conversation on relationships, man. And
yeah.
I love it. I really like it because no matter what sales industry you're in, whether it's recruiting, whether it's loan officer, whether it's realtor, whatever it might be, you need to build relationships before you can get to a good sale.
Don't ask for the business until you've invested 7 hours over 11 different times across 4 different venues. That's my challenge for you. And I guarantee if you focus on the relationship for a 7-hour relationship 11 times, the business will come.
Nice. Take Rick's challenge. This message will self-destruct here.
That's it. So that's our challenge to our listeners. Do me a favor. Actually, let us know if the 7, 11, and 4 work for you.
Yeah, does it work?
If you had any results. And hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, me and Adam are always accessible. You can find us on our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. Heck, you can email us, text us. We're out there. We're always here to help others grow. So thank you so much. Until next time, I'm Rick Riddle.
Adam Crosley.
Eric Bowers, take it away.
Cheers.
You've been listening to The Growth Mindset, hosted by Adam Crosley and Rick Riddle. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this episode with your colleagues. Stay tuned for more actionable insights to fuel your career success. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are personal and do not necessarily reflect the official policies, positions, or opinions of Absolute Home Mortgage Corporation or Crown Home Mortgage. The content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered professional advice or an official endorsement by either organization.